Today, I want to talk about a major timeline shift that is happening in all of our realities. And that timeline shift would be the Earth as a splitting prism. New Earth versus New World Order is what is the best way to describe it. But don't get married to labels because they change depending on who's telling you the information, really. So I've been thinking about this shift in consciousness and, how, how we're in the process of like this shift in consciousness. And there's this although there are like many timelines, there's going to be a definite timeline split during this shift. Okay. I mentioned how the Earth is a splitting prism. Right now, we are basically witnessing multiple timelines. We're witnessing parallel universes and realities that we're not necessarily in. So during this split, we can see a lot of negative things happening in the world. And these negative things are actually a part of this split. When you look at the bigger picture of this creation and what was intended to happen here, you'll see that the shift was always in place to happen. And in this shift, there are gods, souls like you and I, who are deciding to raise our vibration and go into a higher consciousness. But then there's also souls that don't want to play that game, and they will not open their mind. They will not raise their consciousness because they're operating at basically an NPC level, and they want to experience lower vibrational frequencies like New World Order. And so this is what it's going to look like. Excuse my silly drawings, but imagine this middle part. This is the Earth, right? And so when it comes to I guess you can see my light. Hold on. Is that better? When it comes to parallel universes, okay. When it comes to parallel universes, in our, I guess, physical presence, we can't always tell that we're in multiple parallel universes. So what I would say, so basically, imagine a million Earths or 1,000 Earths, right? They would be all stacked on top of each other right here. And you would see on the timeline what you're in a frequency match to at the time. But you'll also see a window into other realities. So let's say you watch social media or the news, or you scroll through a feed and you'll see horrific stories. Then you'll see other stories that conflict those stories. And you'll see something is going on, something is about to happen, and then it doesn't happen. And it really looks like this negative event is about to happen, but somehow it doesn't. What happens is, as a creator God soul, is when you're flipping through timelines, probably a billion times a second, with every decision, with every thought, with every feeling, frequency, vibration you're in, and you can witness what's going on in other people's timelines. And it's very subtle in most of our realities that we don't notice it. We think we're all in this. But for me, these shifts haven't been so subtle. I've witnessed some things that have been crazy. And so you're flipping through these timelines right now, because right now we're all on the same, this parallel reality where it's all into one. But as we watch, we begin to see that there's going to be a split. There's going to be a group of people who are having an awakening. They're raising their consciousness. They're raising their vibration. They want to live in a higher frequency. They want to be happier. They don't want all of the darkness in the world, the wars, the negativity. Okay. So, and then there's the people New World Order, right? And so I would look at that as like these government entities, these dictator entities, these people that want to colonize and control. They want the matrix to be working with human bodies as slaves. That's going to be the New World Order, okay? This is going to be a miserable existence, right? And so we're at a time, the reason why I want to talk about this is because we're at a time in our ascension where we have to make a decision. Where do we want to go? It's your option, you know? It's not something you have to work up to. And, you know, I remember in church, you know, in order to go to heaven, you have to be good. You have to do this. You have to follow this list of things to do. This is not like that. Okay. So when people feel like, oh, I want to ascend the 5Ds and mommy, let me tell you something. Just set the intentions. Okay. Allow the universe to help to work with you, to work through these things, because you are a God. Okay. All you have to do is decide. It's your mind that holds you back, okay? Once you decide, I want to raise my consciousness, I want to go to 5D, the universe will begin to work with you and align you on the path you need to go. Now, there may be times where you might get upset or in a low frequency, right? But the main thing is to always know what your desire is. You can change your desire at any time, but whatever you want, you create. And so a lot of people get into fear, like, oh, I want to go to fighting. I want to be in this. You don't have to worry about it. You really don't. You just have to set the intentions, believe that you're the God of your reality, and you're going to have the experience that you want to have. And so when this shift begins to happen, it may look like an impossible thing to the human eyes, but when you really walk this journey and realize you're a spiritual being, you will see that you can shift your consciousness and create anything in your reality. And even if that means, right, believing in something like this, like it's hard for the mind to think that we can get rid of, you know, the negative stuff, the government. It seems like if you look at the world right now, it looks like we have a long way to go. And, you know, that's only because we're witnessing this timeline, right? But we're not necessarily have to be on that timeline. Both these timelines are converged right now until this split happens. So the timeline will look something like this. Okay, so we have our bunch of little timelines we jump through, right? But this main timeline. These are two lines. These are parallel, and I'm not just saying two, it may be multiple, but they're definitely going off to two different ways at this point, right? And so this is what people call, and I'm going to use for namesake because people like to argue with me about the dimensions. And let me tell you something. The way I view things does not have to be the way you view things, okay? Dimensions are not a ranking system, okay? So people like to say, oh, there's 12 dimensions. It's not a ranking system. There's no labels of 1, 2, 3. They don't even talk in English. And dimensions are not linear. They can be on top of each other, around each other, side by side, you know, right through each other. So it doesn't even work like that. But for the purpose of what everyone thinks 5D New Earth is and our regular 4D Earth, these are going to be those. So argue with me in the comments if you want to. Really doesn't matter to me. You're not going to change the way I see these things. But, you know, if it makes you feel better about yourself, more power to you. So anyways, New World Order. Okay. So now is the time to make your decision and to work on your frequency so that you're matching that, right? Now, you get what you want, right? And I really doubt that you're going this direction if you're watching this video. So don't let the ego make you think, because it will, or make you think, oh, things are going bad in my life. I'll never see it. No, you'll see it if you want to. And if you don't see it, it's because you don't want to. And like I said, there's no right or wrong here. Souls want to experience different things. the 4D dimension. Did I do that right? The 4D, it looks backwards. Maybe I wrote it backwards. Hold on. So the 4D dimension is basically, when I say 4D, I've made a 4D video before. When I say 4D, that's everything in the realm of the human creation, and which is what I'm talking about, a human creation. I'm talking about 3D Earth. Now, 3D Earth is physical, 4D is non-physical. In 4D, they have dimensions. Apparently, people are there's dimensions 1 through 12, and probably many more that aren't labeled. Okay, so this is part of the illusion. It's part of the game still, and duality well persists here, and separation exists here, and low frequencies can happen here. So 5D is setting a standard of a higher frequency to live by, and won't be any more division, separation, slavery. Everyone will know their God. Even in the fourth dimension with the aliens and the different races and the different dimensions of aliens, they're all playing a game. An alien is not like a real creature. It's just like this human body. They chose an alien body. That's the big difference between those two. And so New World Order, when it happens, like, I'm not going to be there, but I can visualize what life is going to be if it continues in the direction that this world was going. Just imagine how it would be. They'll be based on technology. They'll be doing a lot of probably like, what's that thing? I don't want to use the word metaverse, but where they put the glasses on. Like, you've seen the movies, right? Where they get into these games and the world looks like trash. But when they get into these games and they get linked in, the world looks beautiful from what their vision. So it could be stuff going on like that. But as far as I'm concerned, it's not a timeline I'm worried about joining. I know long as I have set my intentions of where I want to go and raise my vibration and continue doing what I do, acting on my highest passion and sharing my journey, I know there's no way that this can happen to us. So I want you guys to rest assured there is nothing to worry about. Okay, you made it this far in your journey. You're listening to a video right now. You have your head on the right shoulders. And let's see. I think that's all that I got to say about this. If you're new to my channel, make sure you sign up for my email list, follow, like, subscribe. If you resonate, it will definitely help this YouTuber out.